Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya.
Hari Om. Welcome everyone. Today's generous sponsors are Geeta and Baljit Bawa. I think everybody who comes to Toronto Chinmaya Mission knows Geeta and Baljit. Geeta, can you please come and light the lamp? I think Baljit has disappeared. There he is. Next is Vinay and Maheshwari. Maheshwari couldn't be here today. Vinay and Maheshwari are partners in crime with Goody for doing the seva on Tuesdays. Please, Vinay. Three P's. Yeah. Next is Pam Malik. Pam. Pam has also been a very, very regular sponsor for all our events. Thank you, Pam. Then we have Sucheta and Kishore Natkarni. They couldn't be here today, but they are watching us online. Sucheta and Kishore, and Swamiji will light the lamp for Sucheta and Kishore, and also for Padmani Kuvarji, who could not be here as well today. Thank you very much.
Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. तू ही मेरा स्वामी अंतर्यामी। तू ही मेरा स्वामी अंतर्यामी। दीजो दर्शन अनंत नामी। दीजो दर्शन अनंत नामी। तू ही मेरा स्वामी अंतर्यामी। नित्य तेजोमय सब गुण राशि। नित्य तेजोमय सब गुण राशि। निर्मल निश्चल घट घट वासी। निर्मल निश्चल सब घट वासी। तू ही मेरा स्वामी अंतर्यामी। नित्य निरंतर सब गुण राशि। चिन्मयानंद तू मम मन वासी। तू ही मेरा स्वामी अंतर्यामी। दीजो दर्शन दीजो दर्शन सबके स्वामी। दीजो दर्शन सबके स्वामी। ओ Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sah Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् श्रीरामाय नमस्तुभ्यं कृपया तव शक्यते सुखेनाभ्यसितुं लब्धं ज्ञानं दैनिकजीवने सुखे okay, you want to chant the whole thing? Okay. Vedanta darshanam shuddham anubhavam param sarvada yenu tishtanti prapyate te dhruvam padam nahankaro mano buddhi deho naham kadachana idi vedanta vakyasya bhavaschintya punah punah teshamatmatvamatram hi nirastamiha nastita yojaniyascha tasmate vyavahare vivekatah naradeha punya praptah sarvabhuta hide sada nishreyasi cha yoktavyah sarveshe chadi prematah anishtamishtam mishram cha phalam prapnodi manavah kritakarmanusarena samatvam teshu dharayet yasmat kritena kinchana kriyate karma manavehi tanmana kalpana rupam yojyatam savadhanatah vishaya rupena manobandhana karakam ishwararpita rupena tanmano mukti sadakam tasmat sada hidhyatavyam sadakena prayatnatah mano me shiva sankalpam astu te kripaya prabho. This Vedanta Chintanam, Chintaniya, to be thought of, वेदांत मार्ग में चिंतन का अवश्य है, चिंतनीयम है. प्रधानता चिंतन, न चिंता. चिंता क्या होता है? We are familiar with worry, and we are not that familiar with thinking. One lady said to me, Swamiji, if I don't worry, who will worry? So we take it as a profession. Worry is like sitting on an arm, easy chair or armchair, rocking chair, and keep moving, going nowhere. So Chintana, on the other hand, is progressive. And only a thinking person can really grow. And thinking person alone will start doubting his own decisions, which he did in the past, in the absence of knowledge, and do better next time. So therefore, the engagement in this world, we have choice. And our present day thinking is all about Vishaya Sakti. Vishaya Sakti Rupena. That is Manaha Bandhana Karanam. Ishwararpita Rupena. When your mind is dedicated to the Lord, then moksha sadhakam, mukti sadhakam. But then there are two things. Our Gurudev had divided the inner personality as manaha tada buddhihi. Sankalpa vikalpatmakam manaha. Nischayatmika buddhihi. Doubt is in the mind, clarity is in the intellect. Uncertainty is the mind, decisiveness is the intellect. Confidence is in the intellect, and constantly confused is the nature of mind. So this transition from the mind to intellect itself is a sadhana. Many people live with so much of doubt about themselves and everything around. They always look perplexed. If you look at their face, they're always looking confused. Are you coming today? Not sure. We're not coming. That's also not sure. No, youngsters today, you ask them, are you hungry? I don't know. If you don't know, who will know it? So about this doubtfulness, Bhagavan Krishna calls it as Samshayatma Vinashyati eva. A man of uncertainty, doubt, destroys oneself. Naham lokosya, na paraha, nasukam samshayatmanaha. This world also a person cannot enjoy if he is full of doubts. Definitely there is no other world for him or her. So buddhi, we need to develop the faculty called discrimination, even though we are using it in useless places. Buddhi's nature is not just discriminating between whether to eat this cereal or that cereal, whether to go to this movie or that movie. Please understand, nature of tamas is the body. Nature of rajas is the mind. Nature of sattva is buddhi. Sattva pradhanatve, buddhi pradhanatvam. When sattva is high, there is light. There is clarity. That's why Bhagavan clearly said in Gita, Nitya sattvasto bhava. Stay in that sattvic state. For to remain in the sattvic state, we must need correct understanding. So that is why in Gita, if you see the Gita Upadesha, Arjuna is a confused person. What to do? He don't know. Aham dharma sammodaha. I am confused about dharma. But at that point, who was the one who was giving him the correct understanding? Sarati, buddhi. So as we saw in the morning today, in Kathopanishad, this physical body is a chariot. This physical body is a chariot, a vehicle. Atma tu ratinam vidhi, shariram ratamevatu, buddhim tu saratim vidhi, mana pragrahamevatu. Indriyani hayanahu, vishayanteshu gocharan, atma indriya manoyuktam, bhokta ityahuhu manishina. This is inspiration for Vyasa to portray Gita Upadesha. Atma tu ratinam vidhi. The owner of this chariot called the body is Atman. Buddhi is the Sarati, driver. Body is the chariot. Deha is Shariram Ratam. Sense organs are the horses. The ring is the mind. Road is the word. How beautiful. That is why it is said in this next verse, we see, Buddhim tu saratim vidhi yanayet rata jivanam karya karya vivekena manusyasya dine dine. Buddhim tu saratim vidhi yanayet rata jivanam karya karya vivekena manusyasya dine dine. Dine dine, every day, manusyasya of the human person, karya akarya vivekena, by discriminating, differentiating what is karya to be done, what is akarya, what is not to be done. Karya akarya vivekena manusyasya dine dine yanayet, that which leads. What leads what? Rata Jivanam, the chariot of life. Buddhi Sarati. Buddhi is the Sarati, the driver which leads an individual in the chariot called life, everyday life, towards what is to be done, what not to be done. Karya akarya vivekena. That Bhagavan also says, Tasmat Shastram Pramanam Te Karya Akarya Vyavastito. In understanding what is to be done, what is not to be done, don't imitate others. We are all, descendants of one animal which continuously imitates. I don't need to tell you which one is that. In fact, when Gurudev writes in Vivek Chudamani, it is often believed that we are the descendants of monkeys. Monkeys are very upset about that. You include us in your category. We imitate others. Don't we just merely do what our parents have done, what our neighbors have done, what our cousins have done, our brothers have done? What is that you did which others did not do? Tell me. Did you step outside the usual ways of living and looked at yourself as what I have done different from others? We didn't. Most of the things in everyday life, what we do is just repeat what we did the previous day. Those achievers in any field are those who stood outside the box. Right? They questioned it. Not questioning for the sake of questioning, but why should I do what others do? Not that I should do something contradictory, but I should do something better. Not just repeat the same thing every day. And that is possible only when we know clearly what is karya and what is akarya. Here, akarya does not mean abandoned, nishiddham. Don't misunderstand akarya as nishiddham. What need not be done by me anymore. Is it not our growth is always doing something different than what we did before, or stop doing what you have been doing uselessly? The first day itself I told you, Swamiji, Vedanta abhyas karne ke liye samay hi nahi mil raha hai. Everybody has got 24 hours only. Kyun nahi samay nahi mil raha hai? Think what you can stop, which you have been doing without questioning. When we stop doing useless things, we will find plenty of time to do what we want to do, what we have to do. karya akarya vivekena ya nayet ratajivanam buddhihi saratim vitti dine dine manushyasya. That is why manushyasya, not mrugasya, praninam. Human has got that ability to question. Here the question is not out of doubt. Question about the validity of it. Why? Is it not Newton asked that question? Why should it fall from that tree to the floor? It was going on before also. But nobody asked that question. So in every field, those who started to question alone contributed to the world. We don't need to go to that extent of contributing something to the world, but to our own progress, we need to start thinking, am I to do the same thing every day? I can do something better. So, karya akarya vivek. This is the main point here. The Vedanta is a pramana, is a method of knowing, thinking. That is why it is Chintanam. So Vedanta is a pramana. Pramana means what? That which, through which you come to know what you did not know before. If I don't have eyes, I would not know the colors and shapes of things, which cannot be known through any other means. With the nose, with the ears, with the tongue, with the skin, I cannot know it. So therefore, to know the color and shape of anything, I need the eyes. So therefore, chakshuhu pramanam rupasya varnasya cha. For color and shape, eyes are the pramana. If for everything that we need to gain as knowledge in this world, we need the right means to know it. Without that, you cannot know it. Sound cannot be known by eyes. Smell cannot be known by tongue. Taste cannot be known by the eyes, again. Touch cannot be known by the nose or smell. So a particular way of knowing or means of knowing is necessary. In the same way, I am Brahman. Kaisa malum padega? I am the self, because it is not visible. But it is not true, even if I tell you that you are the self, I have never seen. You might not have seen, but do you doubt your own existence? Aap hai? Are you there? Wait, am I? Do you have to ask anybody? कोई और से पूछना है? You have to ask someone. Nobody needs to tell me I am. So I know it, but I don't know it fully. Ajnanam apurna jnanam. Ajnanam is not absence of knowledge. It is incomplete knowledge. We all know ourselves. I am and I know. But what I am, I don't know. When I don't know what I am, I misunderstand something else as I am. The famous example of not knowing that it is a rope is the cause of the snake. Correct? Gurudev called it as non-apprehension of the reality is a misapprehension of the plurality. Not knowing something leads to misunderstanding. Similarly, not knowing who I am has led to the misunderstanding I as this physical body, mind or thoughts or emotions, this, that. So the Guru or the Shastra's very purpose is to clearly point out who you are, not to introduce you who you are, but to clarify the knowledge of yourself by making you know it completely, without a doubt. Therefore, yad vishaye pramanam yat janiyat tat pramanatah swarupam nischitam tasya karma kuryan narastata. Yad vishaye pramanam yat janiyat tat pramanatah swarupam nischitam tasya karma kuryan narastatah. Yad vishaye yad pramanam. In whatever be the object of perception, whatever be the means to know it, yad vishaye yad pramanam, tat pramanatah. With that means, janiyat, know it. If I go to Gujarat state and everything is written in Gujarati, if I don't know that language, then what do I do? Pucho. You ask somebody who knows. Nowadays, Google has, right? But there also you have to say. You have to say and then translate that and show it to that person, whomever it is. I was in Panama. Don't ask me what I was doing. So they speak only that local Spanish or whatever. Not a single person can speak English properly. So we had a hard time. We wanted to have vegan food. Now, how do you tell that person what is vegan food? So we put that Google thing and we asked that question. We want vegan food. So it translated that to him, that person. So he said, we don't sell that. And that he said in Spanish. It came out saying, we sell that only. Then there's a problem, right? You cannot fully depend upon the devices where it can totally give a misunderstanding. Because we couldn't even read what is written there. So you have to go through the correct means of knowledge. So yad vishaye yad pramanam tad janiyat pramanatah. And what do you do after knowing the nature of a thing? Tasya swarupam nischitam. Having determined the nature of that, tatah karma kuryat. Then you do the action accordingly. Action born out of the right knowledge will give the right, possibly right result. If you tell a small child, 2-year-old or whatever, less than 2-year-old, fire is hot. Tell that child, fire is hot. Don't touch it. The moment you tell a child, don't, he becomes curious. That's a human tendency. Don't. First of all, that child does not know what is fire. Even if it knows what is fire, what is hot, it doesn't know. Okay, so because of these two doubts, what is fire, I don't know. What is that, I don't know. Therefore, what does it do? Put your hand. Next time, you don't need to tell. The child knows, fire, hot. Most of our actions in this world are decided by the prior experiences. What we have no experience, we are always curious. All right. But not all things you should know only by experience. If it is said cigarette smoking will cause injury, cause cancer and death, let me experience it. you will not be there to experience it finally. Therefore, you take caution, written there, bold and clear. Is it not a pramana? Yes or no? For what? For what it is a pramana? That it is dangerous to you. It's a pramana. Do you have to go through the experience to know that? Once one of our Swamijis, I won't tell the name, he cannot eat a particular thing. He said, if I eat that, I'll get rash in my body. So when we were there in a Bhiksha time, so that food that had that particular ingredient, they brought. He said, no, not for me. So I asked him, why? So if I eat that, I'll get rash in my body. Oh, I want to see it. I said, you're kidding? Not everything we need to experience to understand. This is one thing. Secondly, something which is not possible for us to experience through any means should be known with faith on the source of knowledge. Earth is going around the sun. Do you need to experience it to know it? And have you ever seen anybody who has gone and come back and telling you about that? Why do you believe that? Science has said that. Nowadays, whatever is said in the TV is true. If you believe in the scientific or even, oh, it is there in the newspaper, some news, it came in that newspaper. You believe in that newspaper and you do not believe in Shastra, which tells you you are the self. This newspaper written by some journalist, and they have whatever he has reported, that is the fact for you. Mahatmas who meditated and realized the truth, and they tell you that is what I won't believe. Isme bhi shraddha hai, usme bhi shraddha karo. If you believe and have faith in the newspaper items or the information, the same faith you should have while you are reading Shastra also. What is said is true. Even though I have not met that person who had. If you have met the person who had the experience, you are very greatly blessed. But we don't have that kind of an opportunity, all of us. Therefore, Bhagavan says, Shastram Pramanam Te. So, Swarupa of anything, having understood, accordingly you act. Swarupam Nischitam Tasya Karma Kuryat Narastata. So, स्वरूप जानने के लिए आपको प्रमाण श्रद्धा होना चाहिए. That's why it said, yad vishaye yad pramanam. Continuing, vyavahare chikitsyadi shastrani vividani syuhu upayogam narastesham yata kuryat paristitihi. Vyavahare chikitsadi shastrani vividani syuhu upayogam narastesham yata kuryat paristitihi. Chikitsadi shastrani vividani vyavahare syuhu. In this world of transaction, vyavahare, vividani, shastrani, various kinds of scriptures are there. Scripture means what? Written document of experience. In the medical science, chikitsadi, in surgery and other things, where Medical documents are those which are evidences for those people who want to engage in that field. A person who is training himself or herself to become a medical professional obviously had to go through the various studies. Not only that, open the bodies and look at the things, how they are, where they are, how they function. And they refer to the documents. They are not that all the diseases can be seen in a physical body in the experiment. They understand if this physical, in this particular part of the body, when it is having particular disease, this is how it will function and this is how it will not function. In all fields, more than physical experimentation, they rely on documentation. It is already experimented and found out. So therefore, vyavahare chikitsadi shastrani vividani syuhu naraha tesham upayogam yata kuryat. Therefore, one should make use of those documents according to paristhiti, according to the situation. If you do not have faith in your doctor, will you take the medicine? Will you? In one small village, two brothers were there, both were doctors. And they went out for a marriage for a few days and came back. On when they started to enter the village, some people were carrying a body and going into the burial ground. So they asked, what happened? Oh, he died. Oh. Then both of the brothers looked at each other. When we were not there, who did this? Vaidyara janamastubhyam yamaraja sahodaraha. Oh, doctor, salutations to you. You are the brother of Lord of Death. Yamam harati pranan. Yamaha harati pranan. Tvam pranan chadanani cha. Yama at least take only the life. You take life and wealth, both. So we often portray the doctors have agents of death. But it is not true. What cannot be cured, they have to say that we cannot do anything about it. Even referring to the document, it is impossible to cure you. So what will you do? But not that everything they know. Many times they have to refer to the document, say, hey, this is the disease. What should be done for this? So, vyavahare chikitsayam shastrani vividani syuhu. Even then, upayogam tata kuryat yata paristhitihi. According to the situation, you use it. So, if you go to a doctor with a particular problem, then you must have a faith in that person. In fact, it is said that when you have taken medicine with faith, it cures you faster than if you don't have faith. Because psychologically, it fights with you if you don't have faith. That medicine does not effectively cure if you don't have faith. This is even true in the case of a person who goes to the temple and worships. If he knows that he is actually speaking to the Lord, such a person will get more peace than a person who thinks, I don't know where he is. Shraddhavane balapati jnanam. Even knowledge can be gained only when there is faith. So for knowing things of the world and do the right thing, we need external documents of evidence. So too, in realizing the self, Shastra Shruti is the pramana. Therefore, it is said, Shruti Smritischa Dharmadau. Vedanto Brahma Darshane Pramanam Vidyade Sakshat Imanyena Prayojanam Shruti Smritischa Dharmadau Vedanto Brahma Darshane Pramanam Vidyate Sakshat Kimanyena Prayojanam Shrutihi Smritihi Dharma Adau. In all these Shruti and Smriti and Brahma, Dharma, Vedantaha Brahmadarshane Pramanam. Brahmadarshane, for the vision of the reality, Pramanam. What? Shruti, Smriti, Dharma, Adi. Sakshat Pramanam Vidyate. It is a definitely, evidently, surely the means to know. Kim anyena? What else? See, those people who are not interested in moksha or realizing the self, for them it is of no use. Kyun padu? Why should I read? Gita does not make you efficient enough to make money in the world. Though people say management according to Gita, these are interpretations. Gita is not meant for that. It is about dharma, about moksha, about brahmadrashti. And so, sir, the people are very funny, you know. You have a stomach problem. Will you go to a lawyer? Oh, he's a lawyer, is my dear friend. And you go and ask him, I have a stomach issue. What do I do? Sue the stomach, I'm saying. Because he knows only that language, legal language. Now sue your doctor because he's not giving you the right medicine. And if you have a legal problem, let us say you're fighting with your neighbor, will you go to the doctor? But peculiar is the human mind. For anything and everything, they come to the Swami. Swamiji, yes, my wife never listens to me. What do I do? What do I do? As though I have an experience. You go to the right person and ask that question. But Shruti and Smriti and all these things are meant for what? For understanding. Even Dharma is meant for what? Moksha only. See, Dharma only meant for Artha and Kama is a very limited use of it. Dharma, Arthascha, Kamascha, Kimanyed. It is said in Mahabharata very clearly, Dharmadeva Arthaha Kamascha. But understand, this Artha and Kama gained through Dharma must lead you to moksha, the Paramapurushartha. If you tell a person, do good, do Dharma, even in Gita, when Bhagavan says your Dharma is to fight, but that alone is not what I'm going to teach you. Why even that Dharma is important? Is what? For your purity of mind. Why purity of mind is important? Therefore, you get knowledge. Why knowledge is important? Then you will get realization. So, Dharma is also taught in Gita only for moksha. Sarva Dharman Parityaja, otherwise you won't say at the end. If Dharma is the main topic of Gita, why should he say remove all Dharma at the end? You're not understanding, you're not being humored also by this. If Dharma is the teaching in Gita, then he would not say renounce Dharma, right? So dharmam api, dharma marga api, mokshartam eva. Otherwise, you tell a person, do good. First question is, why should I do? One place I said, you must serve everyone. One person asked, what are others doing? If I have to serve others, what are the others doing? You are not doing it for that sake. You're doing it for your mind's purity. We often forget this point. We are coming out with the next Mananam book. It is on healing. And in that topic, we are talking about social healing. I said that the children who go to our Chinmaya organization for rural development, most of them go for volunteer hours so that they can fill up their university, application. I did this in India. उसके लिए आप जा रहे हो? Most of them do that only. But we have to ask this question: when you are serving others, those people who are poor or those who are unfortunate section of the society, what is that going on in your mind? Are you feeling grateful to what already you have? Are you feeling content? Not greedy anymore? That what happens in your mind is the most crucial. That is called social health. How by observing people around, how I am able to make my mind content, peaceful, and blessed that I'm given this opportunity to serve the people. So you must gain that health. Merely volunteer hours. Now, what use is that? After that, you forget. No impact on you. So, serving others is for your own purity of the mind. That's what Bhagavan says. Tasmat asakta sadadam karyam karma samachara. Asakto hi acharan karma param apnodi purushaha. Do that detachedly and you will eventually reach the Supreme. So dharma also is for moksharthameva. So Shruti, Smritihi, Dharma, Ado, Vedante, Brahma Darshane, Pramanam, Nischitam, Sakshat. Kimanyena Prayojanam. So, Brahma Darshan के लिए Shruti, Smriti, Dharma आदि प्रमाण है. अहंकारस्य विज्ञेयः तादात्म्येन हि जायते देहादिभिर्गुणैः साकम् यो विभाति तथा तथा. अहंकारस्य विज्ञेयः तादात्म्येन हि जायते देहादिभिर्गुणैः साकं यो विभाति तथा तथा. What is that which is between me and that which is called real, or what is that which does not allow me to be free? It is not anything external at all. We are very quick to put blame on other things. Why are you unhappy? See the people around me. Often we have the great ability and skill to put the reason for our own unhappiness on others. But we must realize that it is not anything or anybody is a cause of our sorrow. And to accept that, you need to have a very, 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 very submissive mind towards the Guru. Because the Guru, very point blank, he will hit. Problem is in you. As Guruji would say, there are people who have problems, there are people who are problems. Find out whether you have a problem or you are the problem. Some people say, Swamiji, wherever I go, people fight with me. Who is the common factor here? It's very hard to digest that. That's why people say, Vedanta, no, I wouldn't want to listen to you. Why? Because put the blame on us only again and again. If you go to any other, the discourses, etc., they will say, karma hi karan hai. Something else they say, you are very happy. So, koi aur, kuch aur. But here, Vedanta, aap hi karan. I came to you with the idea that you will solve the problem. Now you are telling I am the problem. Better don't tell to my wife, because she already thinks like that. Ahankarasya vigneya tadatmena hi jayate. Ahankar is that which continues to exist in the form of strong identification. Tadatmya. Tad atma idi bhav. Tadatmya. The example that is often given is, if you take a crystal and put it in a red cloth, it will look red. Not that it has become red, it has assumed the redness of the cloth. Only when you take out the crystal away from the cloth, you see it in its original nature as colorless. But therefore, ahankara is the coloring of the self. And what makes it look disturbed or agitated and confused is because it has constantly in association with things that are subject to constant change. And therefore, all the qualities of those apparently are projected on the pure self. And at no time in our life we have exclusively recognized the nature of the self in the absence of all other things. Ramana Maharshi often would say, you have every day that state of sleep where you are not associated with anything. And what is your experience? Yesterday I slept so deeply and I became very miserable. Nobody says that. If that has been the case, you will never go to sleep, right? Nobody had ever experienced, by going to deep sleep, become miserable. Oh, Swamiji, now I understood Vedanta. Go to sleep. It is not that. Understand the condition of the sleep. What is it? Where I am without any kind of identification. Right? I don't even know whether I'm a man or a woman, human or animal, short or tall, black, white or yellow, brown or yellow. None of those qualifications of the body or the mind or the intellect I own at that point. As today morning also I said, are you afraid to go to that state? Huh? Are you? And question is, are you afraid to go to that state? No. Are you consciously going there? Do you consciously go to sleep? Huh? The state of sleep where you give up your identity as I am the body, etc. You are renouncing yourself but unconsciously. The same thing you consciously do as practice, then you will know, I am not the qualities of the body. I am not the qualities of the mind. What is that which makes you at once get identified as soon as you wake up? Ahankar. Ahankarasya vigneyah tadatmena hi jayate is born. Dehadibihi gunaihi sakam. Associated with all the qualities of the body, etc. Yo vibhadi, that which shines, expresses tada tada, accordingly. See, Indians, wherever they go, they have the peculiar ability to divide themselves. So you are all here in Chinmaya Mission. You don't even know who is Telugu, who is Malayali, who is Tamil, who is Bengali, who is Hindi, and Gujarati, and Punjabi. Because everybody is. But I'm sure each one of you have been associated not only with Chinmaya Mission, but Punjabi group, Malayali association, Kannada Kata, not Kata, Kuta. Kannada Kuta. Kata means a thief. Kannada Kuta. Because there you feel greater identity, right? The same language we speak, same kind of food we eat. And there also they divide. Telangana, Telugu. It's divided there also. Those who belong to Andhra Pradesh, rest of the Andhra, those who belong to Hyderabad, Telangana. I'm sure in all states are like that. Gujarati. What is that? What is that side state in the next to that? In Gujarat? Saurashtra. आपको मालूम है सौराष्ट्र क्या है? Others? Ask them. वो सौराष्ट्र है, उसका भाषा अलग है, उसका वो कल्चर अलग है. See, there they find very great joy. What? सौराष्ट्र को तो आप नहीं है. There is one group there in India called Konkanis. They are all over the place. Okay? But according to their state, they get identified there. They don't have their own language. Because when Bhagavan was distributing language, they were sleeping. So Konkanis, they write in Kannada also, then Malayalam also, in Hindi also, in Bengali also, they write. And there also they have peculiar divisions. Shashwat, Saraswat Konkani, Gaudapat Konkani. Everywhere we keep on dividing ourselves. And in the division, we find ourselves strong. You see, understand? Why we are strong? That identity gives me a feeling of me. Therefore, it is said, Ahankaraha tata tata vibhadi. When you go there in a particular group, that even though small, you feel so identified with that, others have no entry there. In LA, there is a group. It's called NAMA, North American Madhva Association. Yeah, they're a particular group in Karnataka. Madhvas. They follow the Madhvacharya tradition. Once I was invited to go there, so they didn't allow me. Why? Because I was not wearing Nama. Name is also Nama. And you have to wear Nama, without that they won't allow you inside. You have to put that straight line. Interestingly, some years back when Britishers were ruling, the Tirupati, there was an elephant. And they were wondering, because there are two kinds of, Vaishnavas. One line, or the you. You is one Vadakale and Tengale, they call. Those who don't know, don't worry about it. So you, when you put is one section of Iyengars or the Vaishnavas, if you put one straight line, it is another section. They had a fight what the elephant should wear. Elephant never cared about it. So went to the court. So they fought and fought and fought. Then the judge was saying, 3 days he will wear you. 3 days you will wear this. Sunday you will leave it to himself. Don't even try to do anything. Tadatmyam. This is what is called strong identity. Ahankarasya vigneyaha tadatmena hi jayate. Dehadibihi gunaihi yuktam sakam vibhati tada tada. So if you are strongly identified with the body and its qualities, you will look at the world in the same way. If you are identified with your emotions of a particular, you will look at the world in that way. As per your identity with yourself, so will be your perception of the world. And that is why we divide ourselves so much. Not only in Hinduism, you take anywhere you see. Everywhere it is like that. And without that strong identification with a particular section of the community or the language or the culture or the tradition or religion or region, the people cannot live. Only Mahatmas who have realized the highest self can see the universal presence and will not identify with anything. Therefore, their relationship with the world is spontaneous and not prejudiced. Ahankar nahi hai. So, ahankarastu dvivitah bandha rupascha muktidah पूज्य भावश्चात्मनि है कर्ता भोक्ता सबंधक है अहंकारस्तु द्विविधः बंधरूपश्च मुक्तितः पूज्य भावश्चात्मनि है कर्ता भोक्ता सबंधक है. So Swami ji, ahankar hai in all of us. But how do I overcome that? What is the way out? What is the way out as guided by the scriptures? See, as long as we live in this physical body, without identifying with the body, I cannot eat food. Without identified with the body, I cannot feel hunger and thirst. So do not say a Mahatma who would not have no identification at all. Otherwise, he will be dead. There is ahankar of a different kind. Oh, that's why he said, ahankarastu dvividaha. 2 kinds of ahankar. Bandharupascha muktidahascha. That which is of the nature of bondage, that which provides you for liberation, provides you liberation. Muktidaha. Muktim dadhadi. Oh, ahankar bhi mukti deta hai. Haan. So first of all, understand what is this moksha. One person came to me after listening to one talk of mine. He has been coming for some time. Well, he came to me and, Swamiji, bas, mukti chahiye mujhe, bas, kuch aur nahi. Ab de do. I said, first of all, do you understand what is moksha means? Kuch bhi ho, ab de do. It's so funny, people don't understand. Whatever it is you give me. Is it some vastu I can go and take from my bag and give it to you? Many people don't even understand what moksha. Go to the temple and say, Bhagavan, mukti de do, mukti de do. Bhagavan appears. What is mukti? You tell me. Then I will give you. If you really understand what is moksha, nobody can give you. Please make it clear in your mind. If any Mahatma comes and says, I will give you mukti, stay far away from those people. Nobody can give you that. Can anybody come and tell you, I'll give you peace of mind? Huh? Do you think? I told, so long as you have pieces of mind, you can never have peace of mind. Our Guruji used to say, psychological problem cannot be solved by physical adjustments. If you are angry, which is a psychological disturbance, can you do anything physically to overcome that? Some people say, go and stand under the shower for 5 minutes if you're angry. One person said, I got pneumonia because for the half an hour I've been standing there. My anger is not gone. If you have a physical pain, you can take a medicine for that. If I'm upset with you, what do I do? Temporarily, I can take some sleeping pill and go to sleep. Get up with a fresh anger. How can that be solved? So what is moksha, then we have to understand. It's not a physical thing somebody can bank transfer it to you. So what is that which gives you moksha? What is muktidaha, it is said. How? So first of all, we see what is that which is binding us. How ahankara binds us. So he says, pujya bhavascha atmani iha. We all have the sense of pride about ourselves. See, everybody should respect me. Everybody should have a regard for me. See, let us say from here I'm after finishing these talks, etc. On Saturday, I will go to airport to go back to LA. So before I leave, all of you say, Swamiji, come back again and do this namaskar and all that. I feel very good. Bless you. Then I go to the airport. Do you expect all those people there to salute, namaskar karenge? Should I expect? Yes or no? The person in the ticket counter, namaskar Swamiji, Hari Om. Or the air hostess there, Hari Om. Once it so happened, I was with Gurudev, and I happened to have his ticket with me, and I was wearing a red coat because it was cold in Bangalore. Wearing a red coat, I went ahead and checked in. Those times, you can check in the baggage of the passenger by somebody who goes earlier also, not the same person. So I went ahead and checked in his bag, got his ticket also done, and then I was waiting for him to come. Those times you can go all the way up to the security, So then in India, they had security there also, then also. No, it's not like here where up till 9/11, they never had that concept. In India, in the 70s and 80s also, they had this security concept because the possibilities were there at that time also there. So I had my ticket, this ticket in my hand. So everybody, then Namaskar, Swamiji, Swamiji. I was the last person. Gurudev looked at me and said, "Where is my ticket?" He said, "Yes, Swamiji." He said, "If you take the ticket to go inside with that red coat, they will think you are the Swami. So give it to me." Maybe it was a blessing to me at that time. I was a Yogakendra at that time. You will become a Swami if you go wear the red coat. I gave it to him. Then when he went closer to the, place where they do the scanning, right, with that stick thing. So that person who got a regard for Gurudev, he said, "No, Swamiji, you go." You know what Gurudev said? "You do your duty. Don't look at this cloth. Do your duty." So it is foolishness on my part if I expect all the people in the airport, known and unknown people, to come and do namaskar to me. How foolish it would be. So what is our ahankar? Pujaniyaha atma iti bhava. I am one who is supposed to be respected by all. This is the expression of ego. Pujani pujyabhavascha atmani. And it is often we get hurt. Our opinions are not heard, or somebody never even bothers to listen to us. Oh, dear. What is getting hurt is the ego. I am so and so, and you are not listening to me. If a small child, 2 or 3 year old, it doesn't care about what you say, you accept it, right? It doesn't. Teenager, 15-year-old, you say something, I don't care. You get upset. Why? I am your dad and I'm telling you, you don't listen. You know that you are my son. That fellow, unfortunately. So we always feel that I am important. Everybody should listen to me. Everybody should take my opinion into consideration. So we have that feeling that I am so and so. That is called Pujya Bhav. This is Bandhakaranam. Pujya Bhavaschatmaniha Karta Bhokta iti Bhav. Ye Bandhakaha. Bandham Karodi iti Bandhaka. So Ahankaraha Bandhakaha. Ahankar becomes a bondage when we have this feeling of self-respect. So when I go to the airport and nobody even notices me, should I feel miserable about it? No, I accept it. Why? That doesn't matter. Once it so happened, recently only, I was wearing a t-shirt and tracksuit, and then I was sitting and eating in some restaurant. One of our members, he was sitting in the same restaurant. Since I was wearing that dress, he didn't even notice me. He was eating slowly. And probably even he looked at me, but he did not notice that it is. So I was just having a nice time, watching him. Then slowly it's a small restaurant, so on the other side, he could hear me. So I hope the soup is good. Swamiji. Oh, Swamiji. So you understand that he's not saluting to the clothes. Is he saluting to the clothes? He's saluting to the person whom he respected. So if I'm wearing the clothes and go around and everybody should salute me, that's a foolishness on my part. Most of them wouldn't even know what this is. And they look at funnily sometimes. Once I was going from here during, I think, late October, and they wanted to check my luggage. So that person in the security, they opened all these clothes were there. So one boy going with his mother, he said, that's a nice dress for Halloween. This is a Halloween dress? So please understand that the feeling that I am so and so, everybody should respect and honor and listen to my word. Aham karta, aham bhokta iti bhava. Bandaka, bandanasya karanam. So ahankar of this kind is called bondage. Not just the sense of I, but the sense of I which needs attention. Many times you will find the small children, they cry. You go near, they stop. Why? I need attention. And often in Balvihar class, you will have found, would have found. So who knows the answer? Me, 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 me. Everybody will stand there. You go, yes, forgot. The child just needs attention. That's all it is. He doesn't know the answer. So also our ego is that constantly needs pampering, attention. If you go to a crowd of people, nobody pays attention. How do you feel? You go are invited to a party or wherever, and you go there, nobody pays attention. How do you feel? How waste of time I came here. Nobody even paying attention to this. Ahankar. So that ahankar is bandaka. That's why Gurudev wrote a book called Pride Goeth Before a Fall. Only when you fall down, you realize how the ego had taken you to that extent. Pride Goeth Before the Fall. That's the book, title of the book. So then, what is that ahankar that will lift us up to take to the next level? Ishwaraisa Ishwaraseva dasoham naparesham kadachana madiritham mochayati kamana karma bandhanat Ishwaraseva dasoham naparesham kadachana madiritam mochayati kamana karma bandhanat kadachana naparesham dasaha aham. At no time I am a slave to anybody. Ishwarasya eva dasaha. I am only the servant of the Lord. In other words, I am not acting according to the whims of the people around me. It is only for the Lord I am doing everything. See, the most difficult thing for a guru to impart in the mind of the student is Shraddha, Ishvara Bhakti. Very difficult. Shastra mein bhakti hoga, Shraddha hoga. Because a person who started to study may have great faith in the Shastra. We find that. Because it logically explains everything, it elaborates. So you may start having Shastra Vasana, studying Shastra, studying scriptures, etc. Because it gives as though the correct answers to your questions. Guru may be bhakti hoga. Because Guru is physically sitting there, explaining compassionately, lovingly, all that possible. Ishwara Bhakti. It's a blessing. It's not easy. Because it is not evidently seen by us. Most people have love for God because they are in trouble. Then they will have great love for the Lord. I'm Parama Bhakta hu. Kyun? Itna dukh ho gaya. So many troubles I have gone through in my life. What else? Aisa bhakti nahi hai. Because you are in trouble, therefore you have love for the Lord. That is not real love. If you say, I'm very healthy, yeah, I take 25 medicines every day. Do you call that healthy? When everything is provided to you and then say, I have Ishwara Bhakti. And when everything is gone, do you still have that? Huh? When you are given failures and yet you have love for the Lord, that is true love. So for a teacher to impart that love for the God is the most difficult. That's why Bhagavan clearly says that in Gita, that if a person have Shraddha to any form of God, I'm so happy about him. Yo yo yam yam tanum bhaktaha Shraddhaya architum ichchati tasya tasya hi achalam shraddham tam eva vidatamyam. Because it is very, very difficult to get it. Ishwara Shraddha. As I said, Shastra mein Shraddha ho jayega. People have faith in the books because it gives you, evidences and explanations, etc. Guru Bhakti bhi hoga. Because Guru is there physically for you to worship and adore and whatnot. Ishwar. The moment a student gets love and faith on God, Guru's work is over. Then he knows he's on the path. Chal, I don't need to be there anymore. Because that very love for the Lord cannot come by any other means without the grace of the Lord himself. The Guru is taking him to that point. Catch it. It's like you take the wood and go near the fire. That's all you need to do. What happens? Within no time, fire catches it. Right? The wood, when it is ready, dry, fire and the wood come together. Once the fire catches even a portion of the wood, that's all you need. One spark of fire got into that wood, work is done. But then it will start catching up. Whereas it's a wet wood, what will happen? You put in the fire will go away. It will become smoke there. So the Guru's role is to bring that vairagya, make the mind of the student dry enough to catch it. Once the spark of fire gets into that mind of that student, one little Shraddha starts to happen. You will kindle it in such a way, afterwards, it just comes out huge, brilliant fire. That is why for Totapuri, it is easy to initiate Ramakrishna Paramahamsa into the state of knowledge because that one had so much love for Kali already. All that he has to do is just shift it. Little bit. So, Ishwarasya dasaha aham. I am just the servant of the Lord. Na paresham kadachana. मैं देह दास नहीं हूं, मन का दास नहीं हूं, ईगो का दास नहीं हूं, बुद्धि का दास नहीं हूं, ईश्वर की दास हूं. Madiritham, this madihi, itham madihi, this kind of an understanding, mochayati. It releases you. Kamana karma bandhanat, from desire and action. So you maintain the so-called ego. This ego is almost self-canceling. What? I am his expression. I cannot afford to be unhappy. We'll see more of it in next class. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kasyid dukkhabhat bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.
Thank you, Swamiji. So today again, if I would like to indulge, can someone please have a couple of comments on today's lecture? Who would like to go first?